Halloween is here and spooky secrets get revealed at Pac North. Plus, Link gets a scary situation when his parents reveal something major. We're talking all about it starting right now.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now,
Happy Halloween, you guys!
Happy Halloween!
We are the doctors at AfterBuzz Hospital, and we are ready to take care of anyone that comes our way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few producers that came in already.
Exactly.
So we're ready.
I think we have one over the Gray Memorial Hospital. I think we can be a little better than them.
Yes.
Oh, I hope so.
For sure. We got it.
How's it going, guys? I am your host, Benny Adams. We have a great show to talk about today, but before we get into any of that, I want to introduce you to my amazing panel. To the left of me, she has been a fan of this show forever, and she is on so many drama after shows. Here, Miss Chelsie.
Hey guys, Chelsie Overrocker. Happy to be here and cannot wait to dive into tonight's episode.
And to the left of Chelsie, do not take this girl on when it comes to a quiz on Grey's Anatomy because she knows everything that is everything about this show. How's it going, Lanisha?
It's going great. I love seeing everybody in the chat. I can't wait to talk about this with y'all.
Oh, yeah. This episode was so good. We have a lot to talk about, like I said before, including some news and gossip. And then we have our special segment, Doctor Who, where we want you guys to get involved as well. But before we get into all of that, what did you ladies think about the show?
It was a really good episode. I love Link and Amelia. They're like my power couple right now. So overall, a good Halloween episode. Solid.
They did a good job having the hospital pretty much from hell with Pac North.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they contributed that because there's so many things wrong with the hospital.
Great.
Oh, so many.
Yeah, I really like this episode, and I was a little worried because with some shows, when they do themed episodes like Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, it could either be really good or really bad. They were able to pull it off, and this was a really good, solid episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I liked it. Yeah,
for sure.
So let's talk about Karev and Pac North. This guy, he is trying to just get everything right with this hospital. He's starting from the bottom, and he has to make his way up. And he's trying to get funding from these people, and it's going well until he's in the back, and they're doing construction in the back, and they find a graveyard. Corpses. And never would I have ever thought that, we would see something like that. Were you guys shocked when you guys saw that?
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's already like the hospital already got problems. You see blood shooting out of patients, but now you got to go in the back and see all these dead bodies, all these dead corpses.
Yeah, and he just bends down and just looks at those bones. Is like, okay, I need a minute. It's like, can anything get worse here? So I felt bad for him.
Yeah, it just seems like nothing can go right. But he's trying to keep it all together. But then on top of, the cemetery that's in the back, he's also having patient problems. So all this is going on while these people are there that he needs to impress. How do you think he handled that situation? Well, especially when he found out about the blood.
Well, first, let's give our props to Richard, who covered his butt, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to handle it all without Richard's help.
Yeah.
But as far as Karev, I do think he handled everything like a boss.
Yeah.
Like, he handled everything accordingly.
Especially at the end when he's giving his speech, just saying, look, this is going wrong, but this place isn't haunted. We have a lot of hiccups, but we're going to get through this. That he was definitely stepping into a chief's position right there.
Even with the blood transfusion, because nobody knows where the blood was. Like, how do you not know that there's a blood in the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just no words for that. But also Joe did pretty well also there. She was definitely an MVP for coming in, and I actually thought that she was going to join them.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that?
No,
Really?
I didn't think she was gonna join, but I think it's kind of cute, kind of like wife visiting her man at work. I thought that was cute. And then I do like how nobody was like getting scared and knew that she was
Right. Okay, would you?
That was pretty funny for me.
Would you both wear your wedding dress on Halloween?
No, but okay. We gotta remember these are two completely different type of people that wouldn't do what regular people would do.
It's Joe's personality.
Yeah.
So if it was anyone else, I would be like, "What are they doing?"
Yeah.
But it's Joe, and that's just her fun personality. Like in a situation where Karev was going through some really tough things that day, she brings a lighthearted emotion to the table, which is something I think was really great for their relationship and what they needed and what Karev needed. So she was just having fun with Halloween.
Right.
Yeah.
And Debbie Browser says, the people at Pac North was hilarious. Everyone was literally scared of Joe. I don't really... because at the end, they were saying, like, the haunted house.
Yeah, they were.
Scared. So thank you for reminding me about that part.
They saw her. They're like, oh, my God, haunted house.
They were like, I know this place was haunted.
Yeah.
And now y'all got a dead person up in here, knowing it's Halloween.
That was crazy. Yeah, and the reason why I asked that wedding dress question is I can see someone doing that, but not putting fake blood all over the wedding. Wedding dresses are pretty expensive, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, yeah, they're very expensive. So she has a lot of balls to do that because there's no way I would put like fake blood on my wedding dress.
Yes.
Well, it depends on where Joe got it. Because there's some wedding dresses you can get.
That's very true.
Come see me when y'all want a discount. I got y'all.
And speaking of Joe, we have to talk about the end where she said she was pregnant.
Yes.
So I remember so you watched it a little bit earlier than us, and I saw your face, and so then when I watched it, I was like, this is what she was surprised about. I was like, another one.
I know.
I was like, how many people are going to be pregnant?
And then she just says, just kidding. But literally, I was like tapping you guys on the shoulders because you didn't have your headphones. And I was like,
Oh, and Amy Wee says, I think Joe will be pregnant soon.
Yeah.
I think it was
like
a foreshadow.
jinx.
Yeah. I low key wanted her to be pregnant. I thought that would be such a good plot
it
twist.
would be
Toes
great.
Girl says, I hope Joe is pregnant too. They all want Joe to be pregnant.
Everyone wants Joe to be pregnant.
It's gonna be a bunch of pregnant women on Grey's Anatomy.
She could join Amelia, Bailey.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna be on leave.
Right. Well, speaking of someone who is pregnant, Amelia is preggers, and she got invited to Link's, what was it, Cancerversary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With his parents, who are divorced but about to remarry again. But when Link finds out the news, he's not very happy about it.
No.
Were you guys with him with that, or were you like, why aren't you happy for your parents that are finding each other again?
I just don't think he wants them to make the same mistake. He brings up his childhood by saying, you guys, I even had to go to different classes and separate you two, and so you guys would be at different graduation parties. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you guys put so much stress on me that now you guys are just going to go ahead and get married again. So it wasn't where... I think he had a right to be upset because as a child, that was very traumatizing for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like at first I was just, because I remember I was asking you, Benny, I was like, that's his parents, they remarrying? Oh, that's not as bad as, I mean, It would be worse if it was like his uncle or something. And then, and then like as he was explaining the childhood, like you said, Chelsie, I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't want to relive that either. You guys put me through all of that, and you now telling me you want to be happy and get married. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm stressed already.
Yeah. I wrote in my notes, his parents scarred him for life. And that's pretty much why he's not happy with this. He doesn't want to go through all that stuff again. Like you said, it's traumatizing.
It was. And that's why I think before he had a hard time committing. And that's when he told Amelia early on in this season, I love you, in the best way possible. That was a huge step for him.
Yeah.
Because he never got that as a child.
Right.
And it was really good for Amelia to see that and to be his comfort for that, because she really helped him when he was just so stressed out. And that's why I'm loving this couple. They're my super couple.
Right. Yeah, they are our super couple. And I really like how Amelia was the one to kind of help see Link, or try to steer him in the right path, I guess, and to just tell him, look, these are your parents. You have to look at it from their perspective. Were you surprised that he got this advice from Amelia, out of all people?
No, I actually thought this explained her life completely. Like, I was actually happy they put this in there, because it was just like, no, if your family kind of was perfect, she couldn't really relate to them. But since they're dysfunctional, this is great. I can help you out.
Right.
If anyone knows dysfunctional family, it's Amelia.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, bouncing right off of you, I agree. I think she was the perfect person to talk to him, and he listened, and that's how much their love is for each other, because even when he's going through a dark time, she's able to pick up the pieces, and you can definitely see that in tonight's episode.
Right, because last season we saw how dysfunctional Amelia's family was.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Oh, speaking of Amelia, diarrhea of the mouth, I called it. Remember in the beginning?
Yes.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I was like, shut up. Ah.
But I'm like, this is why we love her, though, because, like, she's like this, you know?
Yes.
She just talks, and she doesn't really have a filter.
Oh, and everyone loves Amelia and Link up in the chat. Everybody's team Amelia and Link.
Yeah. I'm glad they are together. Did we ever come up with the name for them?
I thought I saw something in the comments like Laminka or something.
Laminka?
No, that's
Let
not
us
right.
know.
That's
Let
not
us know
right.
in the chat what you guys think
Yeah.
that Link and Amelia should be. Let us know.
Lamelia?
Lamilia?
Laminia?
A mink. Mink.
Oh, Mink.
Mink. Oh!
Yes, that's it.
I like it.
Oh,
All right.
see?
I'm writing this down. They are officially mink.
Me.
But still, let us know what you guys think.
Because you might have a better name.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly. All right. Before we move on to anything else, we have a special announcement for you guys.
Hey guys, before we move on to our next topic, we just want to say thank you guys so much for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. In order to help us grow, we ask please subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave us a comment, and give us a rating on iTunes. Again, we really just want to thank Maria and Kevin for creating AfterBuzz TV, because we're able to do what we love and engage with you as fans. So thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I like that different little snap.
Yeah, I'm trying to mix it up a little.
She tried to throw us off this time because, like, we're on to her, so we do it also now.
I know. Okay, do what we love.
And
There we
shout out
go.
to some people in the chat. RGD, Toes Girls, Yuvia Garcia, Debbie Browser. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat. All of you guys. Margaret McGuire. Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys. And let us know what you're going to be for Halloween. I'm actually pretty curious. Or if you're like doing anything for Halloween.
Yeah.
Let's go to DeLuca and Zola. And just pretty much all of the kids that we saw this episode. So this is a Halloween episode, obviously. And we see a lot of kids in this episode. One thing I really loved was the relationship between DeLuca and Zola, because we've really never seen that. And Miss Zola acting a little grown. I was saying to Lanisha, is it just me, or does she seem like she's too grown right now?
No, I feel like she's acting her age, okay?
Yeah.
She misses her daddy, and she letting you know you can't. No, my dad's the original Dr. Dreamy McDreamy. You can't replace him. And Zola is like, what? Like, correct me in the chat, but she's like 10 now? Or 9 or 10?
I honestly
don't know.
I don't know how old she is.
I'm basing her off of my niece because my niece looks a little younger than her, so I think she's 9 or 10.
I'm gonna say she's definitely under 12 and 13. There's
Yeah, she's
no
not a
way.
teenager.
Yeah,
She's
there's no
definitely
way
not
she's
a
12 or
teenager.
13.
She's not, no.
Let us know in the chat.
I don't think she's 11. I want to say 9.
I'm gonna say 9.
Nine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say she's 9.
Yeah, let us
go
know.
with
But yeah, so we get to see how their relationship is. As you guys said, Zola really isn't feeling DeLuca because she thinks that he's trying to take over her dad's spot. And then also we see this other kid who's a patient at the hospital, and she is very how do you say it? She can't be around sunlight or rays.
Yeah.
And so Jackson is treating her. And one really special scene that I liked with this is he was talking to Schmidt, right?
Yeah.
Towards the end, and he was trying to figure out, hey, what happened to you? How'd you do this? She wouldn't tell him. Then he started acting like Karev, because Karev was her old doctor. And he said something like, what did he say? He said something like, you just have to figure out how to get into them or get to them.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was brilliant. Like, with kids, there is a certain way that you have to talk to them rather than an adult. And I love, like, this episode of how they handled each child, especially with Schmidt and then the other child. There's just, you gotta learn how to get to them and how to talk to them. And I thought it was very creative. That's one of the things you have to know with kids. You got to get really creative when you want to get some information out of them.
Right.
No, I love Jackson with his patient this episode. And just start from the beginning. She's upset that she can't go trick-or-treating. She doesn't want to be in here for Halloween. He's always saying, oh, well, we're going to have a Halloween party for the hospital. And, and then, she's asking for Dr. Karev. And then he, puts on a performance where he's acting like him, which is super cute. But no, I think Avery is doing really good with kids, and this episode I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. And so Jackson says, I found the quote, he says, there's always a reason, you just have to get it out of them. And so this ties back to DeLuca and Zola, because DeLuca, he had no idea, or he doesn't know why Zola isn't feeling him.
Yeah.
And so he was able to connect with her finally, and she was able to explain why she's acting like this. And now they have this somewhat of a connection that's only going to get better from this.
Yeah, no, I love, and I know that was our prediction from last week, was DeLuca's going to have to step up as a parent because Meredith doesn't feel like he could take on the role.
Right.
He definitely could take on the role. And he, explained to Zola, what he knew about her dad and how he was this superstar, and that he's like, you're never going to forget him, so don't worry about that. And he was able to pick up the pieces when Meredith couldn't be there.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just a super little smack to Meredith, like from last season. Sorry, I love Mare, but it's just kind of like she was talking all this mess about DeLuca, how he can't be a father, doesn't understand kids, and DeLuca really stepped it up episode.
He's last season DeLuca and this season DeLuca completely different, because I feel last season DeLuca was a hothead. He was always trying to do stuff his way. He was trying to be the top dog. And now we see him growing a little bit more. He's not as immature as he was last season.
Kids could do that to you.
Yeah.
They make you grow up real fast.
They certainly do.
And continuing on with kids, we get a little more screen time with Karasik, and we understand why he is not really feeling Halloween. And he talks about, his kid died, 2 weeks before Halloween. And I love when Karasik talks about his kid. Obviously, it's unfortunate what happened.
Yeah.
But we get to see a human side of him. Whenever he talks about his kid, he becomes a normal person. What did you guys think about that whole moment?
In that moment, I was a fan of Tom. He pissed me off in the beginning with the surgery that he had with Teddy, just kind of walking in here thinking he's the best of the best.
Yeah.
But then when he's able to show his soft side and be like, I'm going through some stuff too, and was able to open up to Bailey that he lost his son, I thought that was really cool of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely humanized him a
Yeah.
lot more because he couldn't feel with, it feels like he couldn't feel with anybody but Teddy. And so this really like gave me more of an understanding with him losing his son. And it's kind of like, well, no wonder why you're kind of like hard on people and everything, because you're kind of just like living in a life of, well, life's not fair.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Meredith. Our girl is in the slammer.
Oh, man.
Locked up, y'all.
Locked up.
Did you both think it would ever come to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew she would get locked up.
It's crazy because I never pictured it. Like, I saw her in the jumpsuit, and I was just like, wow, this is really happening.
Oh, yeah. She really learned her lesson in this episode because definitely towards the end, she's taking what she's going through very seriously. So she needed this. But yeah, I knew it would be some time before we get to this point, but we did get to this point, and I'm glad that we did because I think we're going to see a whole different side of Meredith for the rest of the season on how she's going to handle the situation and the mess that she's in. And when she realized that she was going to be stuck in jail a little bit longer, she was thinking, well, I'm not going to be there for my kids for Halloween. So I think it was starting to become real for her that she needs to follow the rules.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say she's lucky she got the cellmate that she did.
Yes.
Because
That was a good
it could have
cellmate.
got worse. She got a good cellmate.
Yeah.
To put a little more, to give her a little bit more reasoning, or like bring her back down to earth. Like, you think you got it hard?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. And I really loved the interaction between Meredith and her inmate roommate, I guess you can say. And I loved how she was explaining her situation to this other woman, and the other woman explains her situation. And I loved this part because this is something that goes on in real life. She really didn't deserve to get arrested. She's not a criminal whatsoever. She was just trying to help her kid. What did you guys think when she pretty much just told Meredith, so excuse me if I stop listening to you, I'm going to go back to my puzzle?
Hey, kudos to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would probably say the same thing.
Right.
I probably would have shut her up beforehand and just been like, listen, lady, I got real problems. So knowing my personality, I probably would have just spoke out and been like, shush, I got real problems. But I probably might not even be able to see my kids. So the fact that you can see your kids, I'm going to need you to tone it down a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I probably won't be that outspoken.
I'm just very outspoken.
know.
Well,
I
wait, if I knew who my cellmate was, it depends.
But no, you're like, I'm stopping right there. I give you kudos. I think I would just say it like, look, I have some issues here. So can you just please leave me alone? But no, I mean, if it was to the point where, they were getting on my nerves about how they feel like this is so unfair. Yeah, I could see a sassy side coming out.
Chelsea, you so nice. You in jail. You gotta be
I know. I'm in jail. How did I get in here in the first place?
We gotta toughen you up if you go.
Let's hope that never happens. Let's hope that never happens.
I hope you don't.
If it does, Lanisha will be
You're my
her
first-
protector.
You're my first phone call. Lanisha.
I'm my first, I gotta get out myself.
Yeah, it really, I think it really clicked to Meredith, wow, I really don't have it that bad. There are people who have it way worse than me, and you guys said it perfectly. And I'm going to tie this whole thing up in a little bow. I really loved when Meredith was leaving when she was leaving her jail cell, and the other inmate was saying, oh, it's all right if you leave. They were working on the puzzle, and she said, we finished the edges, just gotta work with what you got. And this tied up pretty much the whole episode, because pretty much everyone in this episode, everyone's life isn't perfect, but you have to work with what you got.
Yeah.
Going back to Karev, his hospital is in shambles right now, but he's been able to figure it out and still come out on top. He got the money for the lab, and he's still doing good things.
Yes.
This goes with Link and his parents. His parents aren't perfect, but he's figuring out a way to have a good relationship and to understand why they're getting married. So he's working what he's got also. DeLuca and Zola, they figured out how to have that good relationship. So that's why I like this show, because there's a special theme and it always ties up.
Yeah. And I liked it too, because at the end, Meredith was saying what you dread is really a blessing. So
Exactly.
I definitely like that. Benny, you got more deeper in it than I did. But I love that, because you make me think like beyond the episode.
Yeah.
I was thinking more with Meredith, like with her keep trying to push everything, where it's just like, okay, you got to work literally with what you got.
Exactly.
This is your environment. Work with it.
Yes.
And that's with everyone. And that's just in real life. You have to work with what you got. Got to stay positive, people.
And make it work for the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. It is time for our special segment.
Okay.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yes, you guys. So if you guys don't know what this game is, it is where I say a quote from one of the doctors from Grey's Anatomy, and it could be from any season. And my panelists over here have to guess, and you guys help them out, because they're going to need it.
Especially me.
Yeah, and
especially me.
Yeah, me too.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. I don't have a story. I'm just a girl in the bar. I don't have a story. I'm just a girl in the bar.
I think I feel confident about this.
Yeah.
All right, show it in 3, 2, 1. Both of you guys got it!
Yes!
Yeah.
Finally!
We got one.
Finally!
I got some candy for you.
Oh!
We got some candy.
What is this? Oh, wow!
It's the sour.
The sour one.
Taking y'all back to the 90s. Sour
Yeah,
Patch.
right?
I'm loving it.
All right, one more. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Rule number 1: don't bother sucking up. I already hate you. That's not gonna change.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Rule number 1: don't bother sucking up. I already hate you. That's not gonna change.
Okay.
Who said it?
Okay.
Chad, let me know what you think too. Oh, and all you guys got the Meredith one. Congrats. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it was Bailey.
Yeah.
I was gonna put Bailey too. I was gonna put Bailey.
Well, I was thinking maybe Christina when she was.
There you go.
When she got that from Bailey.
I was always
yes.
told when taking a quiz, go with your first thought, and I completely went against that rule.
Shout out to the chat, Quinn, Toes Girls, Yuvia Garcia, you guys are all getting it. Jay Jiz, yes, you guys are all got it right.
What season was that, or do we know? Was that like
It was first.
Yeah, the first. That's what I
season.
figured. Yeah.
When Meredith met Bailey.
Yes.
All of them, all the 6, all the originals.
All the original babies.
When she had her cut, when Bailey had her little cut.
Little bob going on. Oh. Wow,
Awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, let's go to our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, our news and gossip for this week. Shonda Rhimes is creating a new Netflix show called Inventing Anna.
Finally, we get to see Shonda Rhimes on Netflix.
I know. The show is inspired how Anna Delvey tricked New York's party people and follows on eager journalists who investigates the German heiress who stole the hearts of New York's social scene and stole their money as well. So very different from what Shonda does. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of a Scandal type of thing. But there's no set date on when it's going to be released. But it's in the works. So if anything from Shonda Rhimes, though, is going to be amazing.
If it's from Shonda, it's going to be good. I'm going to be there with my popcorn and wine. Yeah. Just how she has it.
Yes.
And see, I like that it's on Netflix because all of her episodes always end with a big cliffhanger, or you just have to, like, you can't wait for the next week. So now I can just binge everything.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and there's going to be 10 episodes with this, too. So you can just binge 10.
Sweet.
I'm looking forward to it. Shonda can do no wrong.
No, she cannot.
I love me some Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah. And this could be the start of something where I'm sure this is going to do amazing, but she can have just a whole Shonda Rhimes Netflix channel. Because I'm sure this won't be the only show that she has in the works.
Mm-hmm.
No, especially since she's now, like, working with them. That's why I was wondering, like, when is she going to have an original show on Netflix? I was waiting on that, but thanks for the news, girl. I'll be tuning in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tune in.
Can't wait. Anything else, or?
That is it for the week.
That's it? Awesome. All right, let's go to our predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so here's what I'm predicting. I think the chat's right. I think Joe is eventually, maybe at the end of the season, because everybody's pregnant right now.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the season, it's going to be that finale drop. Oh, Joe's pregnant. Right when everyone thinks, like, oh, nobody else is pregnant.
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, in this episode, we saw Amelia and Bailey bonding. And Amelia, is there for Meredith. So maybe Amelia is going to help Meredith and Bailey bring back their friendship.
Ooh, I would hope so.
That could be good.
Yeah.
I don't think that that Maggie Amelia is, Joe, excuse me. I don't think Joe is going to get pregnant for the finale. I think she's going to get pregnant in the mid-season finale.
Oh,
yes.
Winter finale.
Yes.
Put the date up.
I think it's going to happen during the mid-season finale. And then I have a weird feeling that Jackson and Amelia are going to get back together. It's just their breakup seemed so sudden.
What, you mean Maggie?
Yeah,
Okay.
what did I say? Did I say Amelia? Yeah. Maggie. Sorry. Maggie. Jackson and Maggie are going to get back together because their relationship ended so sudden, and I felt like the writers took their time with their relationship in past seasons. So I have a feeling they're going to find each other again.
That would be good.
That would be interesting. I know some people might not be happy with that. Some people in the chat, but
I'm a little iffy. I'm kind of like leave well enough alone.
Yeah,
I really do feel like their relationship is like it's okay to be different from your partner, but I feel like they're a little in two different places.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I can see that. But we will have to see. But that is all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us for another after show for Grey's Anatomy. Ladies, why don't you sign us out?
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overrocker. That's Chelsea with an I-E. And on Twitter at Chelsie Overrocker.
And I'm Lanisha. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lanisha, spelled Lanisha 914.
And I am your host, Dr. Adams, Dr. Benny Adams. Thank you again for joining us. You can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams. And that is all we have for today. We'll see you guys next week.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.